Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil, and this is live, all the way live. Hello, Ahmed
Yes,
Gordon. How are you?
I'm doing good, Sybil.
Uh, and you are. This makes me very nervous. This just makes me
No,
very
no,
nervous.
no, no. Everything is all good. I'm focused on the road. I can hear you. You can
Okay,
see me. You can
okay,
hear me. We can
okay,
do what we do. It's like you're sitting beside me in the vehicle.
okay. And that still makes me nervous. Although I've never driven in a car with you before, so I can't say.
This is true. This
Right,
is
right.
true.
So what
My
are you
wife would say the
doing?
same thing.
What are you doing? What are you up to?
Well, my wife has been gone for 4 days, and so I am on my way to pick her up from the
Oh,
airport,
nice.
and I'm retrieving my wife at this point. So she's landed. She's in the Atlanta airport, and I'm heading down there to go get her.
How far from the airport do you live?
According to the GPS, about 28 minutes, so there's no traffic. So
Okay.
yeah, I was like, oh wow, okay, let's
Is
go.
is there traffic? Because it looks like you're moving at a pretty fast clip.
I am going at a very good pace right now.
Mhm.
Currently at 75 miles per hour. Speed limit is 60, so I am breaking the law somewhat, but I'm going along with the rest of traffic. I'm not really
You're
speeding
going
by
with the
anybody.
flow, right?
We're going with the flow. That would be my excuse to the officer if they decide to pull me
Okay.
over.
As you fly past a policeman, right?
Right. It's like, sir, the rest of traffic was moving, so here we
Right.
are.
Right.
That's all.
Ned is with us for as long as we can hold on to him.
We here.
Damon is in the middle of a business transaction and no Khameron today. So, Ned, how was your Father's Day?
My Father's Day was busy. I work at the church, so I worked Sunday at the church. My wife surprised me because my son was able to bring like she left a gift for me that I didn't know about, and my son was able to keep the surprise
Oh,
going. So I
wow.
got some nice cologne. Guys, she was talking about, man, I'm running out of cologne, and I'm not big on buying cologne, but I like the one that I had, and she went and got me some. It was a nice little Chanel bag. And I
Oh,
was like,
nice. A
oh,
gift
this is,
pack.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it smells good, and
Okay.
so I was really happy to have that because I literally was talking about I was low on cologne, and the wife hooked me up while she was gone
Came
in
to the
Jamaica.
rescue.
So
Yeah. She was thinking
absolutely,
ahead.
so
Yeah.
she was thinking ahead,
Right.
thinking
Are you
ahead. So
are you one of those guys that fathers that want to be left alone for Father's Day, or do you like the gathering around and opening the gifts and having a meal and that kind of
No,
thing?
I like to be left alone. I don't really, I don't really need much, Sybil.
Uh huh.
I don't need much. So, like, I wasn't expecting anything on Father's Day because again, like, my wife was gone. So her birthday was Friday. So her birthday was Friday. She's out in Jamaica with her sisters. So I wasn't really expecting much of nothing for Father's
Right.
Day. So to get a nice little, oh, it was nice, it was nice. And
Oh,
I was
that's nice.
appreciative. But
That's
I
nice.
literally had 4 to 5 days without the wife. And I was
Mhm.
like, all right, cool. Let me miss you. Let me miss you.
Right. Right. My
She
mother used
she
to say
allowed
that
she
to me.
allowed me to have some time
Right.
to miss her. So you're a little bit more appreciative of things when they're not around.
And so what's your routine? I know you go to work early as the executive producer of the Morning Hustle. So what is your routine and how does that involve your son? How is that scheduling run when he's
Well,
out of school?
shout out to my brother, who I you normally heard but never seen.
Mhm.
My younger brother, he came by actually the house, and as I went to work, he stayed at the house, and they took my son to summer camp,
Oh, nice.
and in the morning, so that helped out tremendously. And like I said, like my brother just stays to himself,
Mhm.
recluse, if you will.
Mm.
And for me to ask him to do it, he was like, "Yeah, no problem." I'm like, "Really? You're gonna come out of
For real?
your home and come over?" And he was like, "Yeah, no, no problem." I'm like, "Well, look at that. All
Okay.
right, we'll come through." And so no, he was able to do that. So I was greatly appreciative of my brother for doing that and spend some time with his nephew. And yeah, so like normally, I get up early, go do the morning hustle. My wife is handling the morning duties of
The
getting my son
Morning
ready
Hustle
for
at
camp.
your house.
basically. And
Yeah,
then she's running around getting my son together, taking him to camp, and then she goes to work, and then I come back and I pick him up. So
got it. It's the
we're getting
handoff.
into a new flow, yeah, a new flow of a handoff that we got
Right.
going on.
Right. Well, I hope she had a wonderful trip, and I hope that you had a good Father's Day.
About to
And that,
find out.
oh.
About to find out.
Okay.
About to find out, Sybil.
All right. Cool. Well, we're going to ask Yolanda to join us as well because I'm not sure how long we'll have you, and I know you got to, you know, reestablish all that with your wife and everything and picking her up. So Yolanda,
I was about to say my wife about to be a co-host in a second. It's not even a problem. Not even a problem. She'll be up in
and
here.
Hey man,
Hey Yogi, how you doing?
so exciting that I get to be on with you.
Hey, look here. I've seen you on before with other people. I have called you out like once before for you to pop on, and then you popped off. So it's good to be with you today, Yogi. It's good to be with you today, Yogi.
Okay, man.
Good.
Thanks.
Oh, good.
that's awesome.
Uh,
That's awesome. Well, you get the pleasure of her company as well. Um,
yeah.
so let's talk a little bit about the What You Need to Know newsletter that Ned
Let's
you know
do it.
so well. Today is actually Monday was a day in history for the people of Maryland. The governor, Wes Moore, rolled up some Juneteenth pardons, according to Khameron's headline, meaning that he enacted the historic mass pardon of over 175,000 marijuana convictions affecting 100,000 individuals across the state of Maryland. And as a part
Yes.
of that, this, according to Khameron's story, marked one of the most extensive acts of clemency concerning drug related offenses in the United States. This executive order forgives decades old low level marijuana possession charges, and he framed the move as a pivotal step towards rectifying the long standing social and economic injustices that have disproportionately affected Black and Brown communities. And it was like he said, it was a long time coming, but this is groundbreaking.
Well, I have a question. So my uncle who got arrested in 71,
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
that is on his record now. Is that expunged from his record from
Is he
70?
in Maryland?
Yeah,
Is that was in Maryland?
he's in Maryland. Because my question is,
It,
did
it,
it go back a
it's
certain
not
amount of years?
expunged. So we talked to Governor Moore this morning on the Morning Hustle. Full interview will be available tomorrow as well. And we'll play him
Hmm.
twice on Juneteenth. And he did say there's a difference between expungement and removing it on the record. So this will take care of the electronic stuff. It won't be on their record per se anymore. But if he wants it completely expunged, there are steps he needs to do so. But
Why? Why?
that's just the expungement part. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
To get
hold
things
on. That's
expunged,
dumb.
he's
Let me tell
pardoned.
you why that's
'Cause-
dumb.
no, because he's pardoned. If he has a minor marijuana conviction on his record, it should be removed. And we asked him today specifically what's the difference between the removal and the expungement. The expungement itself can be done now, but there's steps to it. The governor can only pardon the governor can only pardon the conviction, but the
Right.
expungement of it you have to actually go do. But now your uncle could actually go do that with the pardon on his record now, and the expungement can happen. But the governor doesn't expunge. He can pardon, but he doesn't expunge.
See,
So
and
now
that's just a trick of words for me. Because, for example, hey man, I got this you homeless, you don't have no money, no nothing, but over here I got a car for you. How you gonna get it? Why give me something? Give me the whole thing. So to take it off
mhm.
my record but not expunging it, that's only halfway. If it's not a crime, then I shouldn't have to do anything to clear my name. Anyway,
I
Yeah,
think that's I
I
think that's
hear you,
the
but
rule, the state
that's the reason.
rule.
Yeah, you just have to like basically put the paperwork in.
I
You
know
basically got to put
that's
the
what you
paperwork in,
say.
and the
You
paperwork
just
with
have to
you
do
with him now,
the
he should not have it on his record
justification
at
law.
all.
I need one of you
So
guys to talk at a time.
I'm
So,
sorry. I'm sorry.
so what
Go ahead,
Ned
Yogi.
is saying, Yolanda, is that the pardons do not automatically expunge the convictions, meaning they will remain on public court records unless the individuals pursue the additional legal steps. They have taken the first step, and if you want to have it expunged, then it's on you
I
to
understand.
have that taken. I mean, that might be just the state rules,
You
state
know
law.
that I am a contrarian,
I
and
know,
that's dumb.
I know, and
Ned, you sure you want me here today?
you're a contrarian every day.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is he sure he won't be bothered with this contrarian
Well,
today?
he's probably about to pick up his wife, so he's probably warming up to how he's gonna have to.
Shut up, Sybil.
How about this is easy. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? This is nothing. Man, what? What?
Nah, but yeah, man. Thanks for explaining that. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was the first thing that one of the first questions we asked because I saw that I'm just like, well, then what's the difference? Like you said, Yogi, I was like what's the difference? But then he explained it that it's the same thing that goes with people that are incarcerated. He's like people that are incarcerated don't have misdemeanors. So this is
Right.
basically clearing up misdemeanors. So if they're incarcerated, that means they have a misdemeanor. If they have the misdemeanor marijuana charge along with something else. So the misdemeanor might be cleared off the record, but doesn't take care of whatever else they have that's going on that's keeping them in jail. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're not seeing anybody getting out of jail because of this.
And legal aid may come to the rescue of people who want to have the additional legal work done to help them have this expunged. It might be that this is the first step, and the second step, if he cannot afford it, perhaps there is an organization like Legal Aid that can help him get
Right.
this taken
And
off.
the great Michael Stalwart says,
Yolanda is an understandable control. Oh, get that
not
out of
that
here.
part.
Okay.
Not that part. Not the.
No, no.
Keep going. Keep going. Go past that.
Yolanda is an understandable contrarian, unlike the sunken place folks among us who support Trump out of patriarchy or, I don't know,
Uninformed understanding of how
of how
government.
governing works.
That's what I'm saying. It's just an added. It could be so much simple. Why make this so difficult for us? That's all.
I don't think he's making it difficult. He's making the gesture, and that's not even a gesture. He's completing an action and starting the process that wasn't available to them.
I understand.
Because Yogi, he specifically talked about people like your uncle who said like they've had this on their record for decades.
Right.
Like decades having this on the record, keeping them from getting jobs. Like he's like a little. Just think about having a misdemeanor weed conviction, keeping you from getting jobs, a house, things like that. So right now, even without being expunged, people like your uncle can go out there and it shouldn't be shown on background checks, things like that. So outside of expungement, if you're going out for a job or whatever and they do a background check, it shouldn't be seen on there. They shouldn't see it. So that's without the expungement.
That's what expungement was.
No, expungement takes it completely off your record, but the pardon takes it off like their the virtual the computer system. It's off the computer system. So when people look up your background, they shouldn't be able to see it.
Because my next question, and I am married to a lawyer. I don't know if he knows this or not, but the reason was Sybil, just follow me and I'll let it go. I have to do this other step. And is there a fee? Because 9 times out of 10,
well, that's what I said. That's what I said. Perhaps there are organizations like Legal Aid, or there are in law schools will have programs for their student lawyers to help them get their records expunged.
Or, like one of our listeners said, it should be one fell swoop, because it's one fell swoop.
What?
The way they put us aside. The way that they casticize us for this crime that we didn't commit.
Okay, but if we did enough to commit the crime, can't we at least take what they give us?
But I didn't commit the crime.
Because it was a crime. Because having marijuana or marijuana equipment, it was a crime.
Look how serious Sybil is about the marijuana. All right, I hear you.
What do you want me to say? They smoke weed. They were.
Okay.
I could go really
Smoke weed
old
every
school white girl and say they smoke pot. No, I mean, whatever it is,
day.
they broke the law. And so this is an effort to get this taken care of, but you might have to take some responsibility on yourself to complete the process. Is that so wrong?
Uh-huh.
It is wrong?
I just think it is. I just think that
Oh, you're wrong.
I got a lot. I know we need to move on, but your audience.
Michelle Lynn Summerall on Facebook says, so the pardon is like forgiving, but the fact that you still did it is there until you get it erased. Yeah. So just
Okay.
be the adult and say, thank you, governor, and then keep it and then go on and complete the process.
You're right. There is some gratitude that needs to be implemented in my thought process.
And you're a woman of gratitude. You understand.
Well,
But you are also a contrarian. You're right.
I did acknowledge the
Contrarian aspect of your
no,
personality.
no, the lack of gratitude that I was displaying.
So we have another couple of minutes. So I want to tell you a couple other things that are in the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is Tuesday, and so the great CPA to the stars, Katrina M. Kraft, talks about effective strategies for finding reliable tenants for your rental property. Did you look at that, Yolanda? This is something that is of.
I saw that yesterday when I read that. Yeah.
Yeah. Placing the best tenant in your real estate property is essential to having a profitable investment.
That was number one. That disqualified. I stopped there for real. I was like, that ain't gonna help me. But go ahead.
And then she kind of takes you through the process, like creating a compelling real estate listing and things like that. And another interesting story, talking about contrarians and difficult people in your family, in the Black Health Matters section, the story of Courtney Snowden. Her parents were avid fitness enthusiasts when she was growing up in DC. Her dad was a professional athlete. Her mom ran 5 miles a day, and she rejected fitness altogether. And finally, when the problem got too big to pardon the expression, the problem grew too big for her, and she was about 350 pounds at 5'10". She said, so it was kind of placed in a more proportionate way for her. She said, my weight stretches out a bit, but I started getting bigger and bigger, and she said it becomes a little too late, the things that she was doing. And so read about her path, her suggestions, and what she did to change her lifestyle, as well as to change her weight and the way that she ate and exercised. I think that's really interesting. I wonder if her parents were those that kind of pushed her, and said, we need you to run 5 miles with your mom, or toss or do sit-ups and do a whole calisthenics program with your dad, and that made her resistant to it, because sometimes when people like kind of push it on you, you're like, nah, I'm good, and then the next thing you know, you're in a situation where your life is at stake.
Did your mom make you do exercise?
No, but she encouraged me, and so and by example, walking the dog or walking in the evenings and things like that. She took a class. She never learned how to swim until her adult life, and so she took a class called Swimming for Terrified Adults. Encouraging me to we took a tennis class together and stuff like that. Yeah, so that was.
You and I should take a tennis class together. Would you be open to that?
Sure.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Let's play tennis. All right, I'm gonna find.
Oh, let's start with pickleball. We got more pickleball courts than we have tennis courts.
Well, as my girlfriend Tracy likes to tell me, you turn it into an old white woman.
Well, that's true too.
Pickleball. I'm open to pickleball. Do you really get your heart rate up, and really is that very
It can be, yeah.
It can be, okay.
But I will tell you that the greatest number of orthopedic surgeries now are the result of pickleball injuries.
Is that a fact?
Yeah. That's from the AMA.
All right, we go find something else to do, because
Or you could take up golf with Miss Pat. I haven't played golf
Golf
in
is
so long.
boring. It's boring for me.
Oh, okay. So you need the fast
I
pace.
need some, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
So those are the things that you find in the What You Need to Know newsletter, Med, as well as the Little No Black History Fact and HBCU Corner, things like that. We'd love to have you subscribe. Please go to SybilWilkes.com. And it was so funny. This morning I did Erica Campbell's show, and Griff actually spelled out my name. I said Sybil Wilkes. He goes, that's SYB. No one ever does that. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Griff.
Make sure they get it.
So please go to SybilWilkes.com. And Sybil, I have to do a show talking about your mom and your stories. I love them. Thanks, Tab B. I appreciate that.
Me too.
And I like following Tab, by the way.
Oh, nice.
So we'd love to have you. It does cost a thing to subscribe to it, and we will talk about the newsletter every day, Monday through Thursday, on It's Sybil here at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Let's move to what's really going on in our question of the day. I had one question. Yolanda came up with another great question, and it's also a link to what we talked about in our yoga class today. We do not start yoga without some sort of conversation. And so
it's community.
It is community. And it's not like we haven't seen each other just the day before. But be that as it may, we come together and we just start on these subjects. And one of the subjects was one of our members talked about stress and how it affected her life on the job. And so Yolanda came across a post from Plies on Instagram and asking the question, do Black folks, are we normalizing stress in our lives these days?
Well, he's saying we have to stop normalizing.
Well, my question is, do we normalize?
Mm-hmm.
And Plies says that we have to stop normalizing. And I think that might be true. I think that might be true.
What does he mean by that?
I think that, we don't take the time to really investigate, or, we just kind of say, oh, it's stress, it's just the way our lives are these days. I did not see the post, but my assumption is that, we've gotten to the point where everybody's stressed, and stress comes out in shows itself in many different forms, whether you have IBS, whether you have sleeping difficulties, whether your hair comes out, whatever it is, there are ways to, you may have breathing difficulties. You may take up an unhealthy addiction. But in order to ease the stress, we do these things. And now everybody, is exhibiting some form of stress.
Right.
And so are we normalizing it? And how do we get away from that? But I think conversation is the first thing that we do talk about. I think one of my ways of getting away from it is to, like, Sundays, I try not to talk because I talk so much during the week. And Saturday, I do a lot of errands and stuff, or have contact with people. And so I don't talk. I try not to talk on Sundays until I get to church, and then people want to turn to your neighbor.
Go hug somebody and tell them you love them.
Tell them you love them. That's right. But you know what I mean? It's that's the way that I try to, but I can't go the whole day, which I would really love to be able to not talk the entire day if I could. But
so talking stresses you out?
Just because it kind of it doesn't allow me any downtime from my week of a lot of constant movement and conversation. Because people will always, and that's okay. People always have a question for you. Like, even when I go to get my hair done, there's conversation about politics and things like that, where I really just kind of like to just listen to some music. Or
you should know so much random, unuseful stuff.
I know. So if I just zone out, then that helps.
I don't know. I don't know.
beats me.
That ain't gonna work because you can't even say, "I don't know."
Really? Really? You gonna tell me
Hey,
that you don't
Sybil,
know?
don't nobody ever ask me nothing.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And a lot of the questions you say,
Oh.
but when it comes to yoga and other things like that, and yoga is a great stress reliever. It really is. And it, it does double duty, not only stretching your body, but it allows your mind to relax. I cannot meditate because my mind is all, and which is part of my difficulty in falling asleep, is always just racing.
Hmm.
So do you think, because I think that we kind of take for granted when we have people in our lives who say that they suffer from anxiety. Well, what is that? What does that mean? We don't real. I don't think we really. I think it's sometimes for some people. Tabby says we're also quick to claim we have anxiety. Yep.
Yeah, we take ownership. So this is what I think. I think two things about it. I think on the one side, I'm with Tab. We really do. Everything stresses us out. If the light is red and we want to go green, that stresses us out.
Come on, go. Yeah.
Yes, whatever, we allow different things to stress us out. But then you have people like me, and I think that was our yoga person. It's her. When we deny that we're stressed.
Hmm.
So I really don't think I get stressed. Like
I don't think you do either.
yeah, it's
But
like,
but some things you do say indicate there is some stress in your life.
so because we all have stress, and so you have to see how it manifests. But what I personally try to do, Sybil, if it's something that is stressing me out, I think on one side, what a lot of us do is we really try not to tackle it.
Hmm.
I try to solve it so I can move on. I
Hmm.
don't try to ignore it as if it's not there.
Right.
I try to like, okay, so this is what it is. What can I do to change that? And if I can't change that, can I let it go? And
Hmm.
I really go through that process in my head.
Right.
And it might take me a minute because sometimes, like I have a situation now that is very, very heavy. And I think I'm working my way to
Hmm.
let it go, even if it's not the best decision. I can't worry about it because one of the jewels from before is letting things play out.
Hmm.
You got to let it play out. And
And the jewels do come from your life.
every last one of them. I had a girlfriend she's in her 50s and she met this guy. And she's like, oh, I really like him, but I really don't know. I got to keep my guard up. And I'm like, but you in your 50s. Why you got to keep your guard? Because I don't want to go through, the heart. Why you don't want to go through the heartache? Because this is the one thing being at this age has taught us that if you go through the heartache, you will get past it.
Right.
That's what this experience has taught us. That
Or if you go through the heartache, you will find love.
But no, I am catastrophe.
Yeah, you are contestant. I'm
So
I'm looking at it in
what
another
is
way.
the worst?
What's
And
the
when
worst
you
that could
look at
happen?
the worst that could happen, just know that a lot of us have already been through the worst. We've already been through the worst that life can offer us.
And that's what my mom used to say. Not to bring up my mother again,
No,
but
I love
it,
it. What is
it, it
what
is
you
it
say?
is what's the worst that could happen, and that's why God made erasers. So
Yeah.
don't get locked into something. Don't be afraid to make a left or a right and to change your route.
Yep. Yep.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yep. Um,
AJ mine +4. I feel you, Sybil. Talking often disturbs my silence and solitude.
and so, but Sybil, talking to you bring me peace.
Really?
It really does. It doesn't. I don't have to ever be silent with like you or Ward. I don't need my space or what have you, because somewhere in a conversation, you gonna make me laugh. No matter how serious it is,
Right.
it's gonna be a little heat. So, but that's how I choose to approach life.
Hmm.
and I totally understand. I was just addressing the AJ Mind Plus about the silence. I also understand the importance of silence and solitude.
Yeah.
But I can't say that talking stresses me out. So what I'm telling you and AJ Mind Plus, stop. Stop letting talk stress you out, and embrace the beauty of conversation. That's all I'm saying. Med.
Yeah. You know,
Ned, do you think we normalize stress?
I'm at the airport right now dealing with it because, I text my wife, said, hey, look, I'm here. She's like, yeah, I'm still in customs. Well, I could have been home.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I could have been home. I could have been home and waiting. And you could have, you know what I'm saying? I could have, but I don't let that bother me. Why? Because I, like you, Yogi, can listen to Sybil talk and I'll be fine. So that's what I've been doing while I was, frozen or gone. I've been listening to y'all talk and I feel a lot better. So I'm just sitting here now, just waiting.
Do you feel stressed on a regular basis, though?
No, I don't. I really try not to let things bother me too much. As
you really are one of those guys that just kind of takes it all and seemingly just like water off a duck's back.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously there's stressors in our lives, and there's things that can bother you, of course. But I'm always like, what can I control? If I can't control it, then I'm not gonna kill myself over it.
Right.
The things that I can control and I can, work in my favor, those are the things that I will, I'll definitely work on. But if I can't control it, if it's dealing with other people, I can't control other people's behaviors. I can't control other people, what they think about things, how they think about things. And since I can't control it, I'm just gonna come do the best and bring my best version of myself as that I can to the situation, and then hopefully that handles it. But stressing over things that are out of our control is, in my head, pointless. It's absolutely pointless to do that because you can't control it. So all you're doing is making yourself sick over it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
And I will say, and I don't know if this is true for you guys, but there reaches a point where if I am stressed about something or I have a weight, as it were, then I just say let go and let God. And that really helps me. And it's not just, let go and like that. I mean, there is a release, if you will. I don't hear from God, but I do feel a weight taken off and the stress removed.
I think the funny thing is I've always talked to, like, one of my favorite questions to ask people, especially in the gospel industry, is how do you hear from God? Erica Campbell kind of checked me one day. Actually, she's like, you've heard him. You know what I'm saying? You've heard him in your own way. And there's different ways of hearing him. And she's like, if I go into a grocery store right now, my dad is there, and I hear him laugh 2 or 3 aisles down, and I didn't know he was there. Oh, that's my dad. You know what I'm saying? She's like, you know his voice. You just have to take your time to listen for him. And that's what she said to me. I'm just like, oh, good point. Yeah. She's like, you know his voice. You just have to take time to listen for it and listen to it. And so, it helps you with your decision making. You know what I'm saying? It helps you with the situations that you're in. So, there's plenty of time that I believe that you are put in a position to do certain things, and there's signs and there's ways of being talked to by your creator, and you just have to listen to it or pay attention to the signs that are there. I've always told people, I'm like, God got to be really loud for me. He got to be banging on drums, and like the sign got to say, turn here, turn here, man. I'm like, and sometimes it's just a subtle sound. Sometimes is what I ignore, and I need to listen to more. So, don't think you don't hear from God. Sometimes you just don't want to hear what he has to say.
And Yolanda has pointed that out to me a time or two, because I heard God speak to me the day of my mother's cancer surgery, and I have not heard from him in the 30 years since. But the way in which I heard him is not what I'm getting these days, and I just have to acclimate myself to the changes.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's what Yolanda has told me.
Yeah, and I completely agree. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the days that I hear it, it's like it's so loud and so blaring that you're always looking for that, but it's not always going to be that loud,
right,
and come in that form and fashion. You still got to pay attention to your surroundings and the messages that are in the
Or
world for you
she
to
could
hear.
just listen to me and I'll tell her. I'm just saying.
Because in her mind, she is the voice of God.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm just saying I know what's
great
best for you.
producer.
Right. As most executive producers think of themselves, yeah.
Don't be like that, Sybil.
Well, thanks for participating in our little question of the day. I appreciate it. Let's talk about the trending topics. This is, it was headline news when I woke up this morning, and I was like, really? That's breaking news? Justin Timberlake got stopped for drunk driving, and it was a big deal. Not just because it was out in Sag Harbor in New York, but it was just like, now we have the booking photo, his mug shot. It's like, okay. And the other big deal was, so he went through a stop sign, he was weaving across the road, and he got stopped by a young cop, and the cop did not recognize him.
Wow. He should have said he was Justin Bieber. Wow.
If that helps, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
this kid, because he said, "Oh my gosh, what's this going to do to the tour?" And he's like, "Tour? What tour?" And then he saw his name, and he still did not recognize. Like,
did not.
Sure.
Look here. If it's a young police officer, I understand if he doesn't know who Justin Timberlake is right now. It sounds crazy, but the funny thing about it is we talked about that today on the show, and L'Oreal being who she is, saying, "Well, look at that. Karma done come bit you in the ass 15 years later, huh?" That's for Janet, Justin.
That's what I thought too. That's exactly. I was like,
She's like, really, baby.
Just like you ripped that off of her, now we're showing your true colors.
Well, it seems like he got it off easy because according to Sylvia Crawford, they said, what's the big deal? They let him sleep it off, and then he was released.
His lawyer came and picked him up. Yeah.
So
and got him.
Janet suffered a little more. I'm just saying.
No, she did, but hey.
But it's a good start.
Whatever you can get.
Hey, for the Janet fans and the Britney Spears fans are like,
Yeah, but Britney not so much, but Janet, yeah.
Hey, look at hey, them Britney fans are crazy. They are. But the thing about it is that was interesting is the fact that the younger officer that picked him up, but also those people that in the Hamptons, that rarely happens.
Right.
And the fact that he got intoxicated and drove in the Hamptons is weird because usually it's a very interesting situation for him to be caught up like that there.
That was the other question. Who said, okay, you're good, because they could get a fine for that, or arrested for allowing him to go out and being legally drunk.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Sybil, because I'm not a drinker, and this is a serious question.
But you asked a professional drinker, yes.
Well, I bet you know the answer to this. Can you be legally impaired but not be drunk?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because Med said yeah.
Because you can be sleepy. I've been driving while sleeping and got a ticket.
Yeah, I've not.
I wasn't drunk, but I was impaired.
No, I'm saying just could you have, like, for example, if I was a drinker and if I had 3 beers and I decided to drive home, well, if you breathalyze me, it might come up that my alcohol level is a certain point, but I could handle 8 beers. I just did 3. Oh
yeah, definitely. Because
that's what I'm asking.
I know it's like I've driven home, and I've known that I'm like, man, if I got pulled over, I might blow in a legal amount.
That's what I'm asking.
But if you did the field test, I'm there. I can walk on a straight line.
So that is possible.
Yeah,
it is possible.
That's very possible. Yeah, you can breathe a certain amount and it's it's a legal amount, but you can have all your capacity and not be impaired whatsoever.
Oh, okay, okay. So that's what they're saying. He said he had one drink and he was following his friend. So yeah, what if that's the case? What if he only had one drink?
It could be, and if that's the case, he did something driving wise, whether it be swerving or
Yeah,
whatever,
he
to get
went to a
that cop's
stop sign
attention.
and was swerving across the road.
And with Justin, from what I understand is that alcohol really isn't his problem. It's other things
Yes.
that
Okay.
he partakes in that could have him.
All right.
But the tour, you'll be those you Justin Timberlake fans will be glad to know that the tour will go on. He'll be
It
in
will go
Chicago.
on.
Oh yes, the tour
Yay.
will go on.
Shout out to my girl Rayvon, who is one of the singers on the tour.
Okay.
And like she's been doing an excellent job. She did the Tiny Desk with them and all that stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been cheering her on. Like watching her. If you
Because
follow
that's
her,
messing
it's
with a lot of
Rayvon.
people's money if it doesn't
Right.
go on.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, we
And
got
it
no.
just started in April.
Yeah.
Yes. She's very much. Hey, Justin, come on, let's go. Get your head right.
Mhm.
We got these dates to hit. Let's go.
And it's too bad there was nobody last night that was able, to discern that he might have had some kind of issue, because blowing through a stop sign and swerving on the road,
Right. That's what
that's
your person said.
yeah, that one drink did it, says Pinky on Facebook.
I guess that's possible, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I've not I never have been in a situation where I felt like I couldn't drive or recognize that I have had too much to drink. That's not what I do at my advanced age.
Mm-hmm.
A campaign sign for Maryland Senate candidate Angela Also Brooks was vandalized with hateful and threatening imagery this week, sparking a police investigation in a contest that is gaining more national attention. The advertisement, located in a grassy median in Prince George's County, features Also Brooks, a black woman, was marked with KKK lettering and a crosshairs target on her forehead. The state Democratic Party said in a statement that Marylanders deserve better than this and black Marylanders deserve better than this. Well, all Marylanders, obviously. At a time when our country is so divided and hate crimes against so many communities are on the rise, we must stand up and call out racist and hateful conduct for what it is. And she's looking to be the first black woman to represent the state of Maryland in the United States Senate. She had a difficult primary in which she beat the biggest money person probably in the Senate, and the guy that is one of the founders of Total Wine. Speaking of alcohol, very, very ridiculously rich. And she's running against a very popular former governor of Maryland, Larry Hogan, who is no friend of Donald Trump, but he is a Republican nonetheless. And so he has slammed the vandals in his online statement. But it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. It doesn't matter where you go, people are going to try to remind you of who you are.
It's amazing to me how one person, let's just say it's one person, right, can do something childish or racist when it's, like I said, it's one person, and it can turn into like headline news. You know what I'm saying? As in, like when I hear you describe it, like they wrote KKK letters and a bullseye on her forehead, and yes, we know there's racist people out there, and it could literally be somebody who ain't got other things to do and just bored and sees it and does it, but it becomes headline news.
Right.
And it's like, grab your attention, like this happened. And there's like no face to it. There's no name to it. Like I said, it could literally be some guy who might have been drunk. And move
or
on.
some kids being silly.
Exactly. Who don't know what the heck they're doing. They're just being stupid. But because we have that, it becomes headline news. And we're sitting there like having discussions about it and things of that nature, because in the world today, there are people who feel like that. There are people who do that. But it just amazes me, how quickly it could go like that. You know what I'm saying? For like you said, it's no name, no nothing. It's just the imagery, not knowing how it got there, who put it up there. But it's just like, we all got to make a statement on it. And it's wild. It's really wild to me that like something, and I'm not saying it's small, but it could be small, that blows up into this because we don't know the perpetrator who did it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just crazy to me. And even though we know racism's still alive, we know these things are out there, but it's just like somebody out there did this, probably not thinking this was gonna be headline news.
Yeah,
You know, the next day. It is wild to me. It's crazy.
Well, just wait until, with AI, how so many things are going to be altered.
Yeah.
To give us stuff to talk about.
Absolutely.
Right. Which they already have. So,
well,
I mean, yeah. What do you think about Sean Diddy Combs returning the key to the New York City mayor following a request from Mayor Adams? That key we gave you to the city. We're going to need that back. We saw the videos. We saw what you did to that woman, and we gonna need our key back.
It's just interesting that it feels like it's the pot calling the kettle black.
Ooh.
And with what and
tell me more.
Because let's remember, the initial situation with Diddy getting with the Cassie thing that happened in November, and other people in New York, people were coming out accusing people of things. Mayor Adams was on that list.
One of them.
But there's video that Diddy did.
Oh, absolutely.
Accusation. No. I'm not sure that that's the pot calling the kettle black because there's no evidence that.
No, absolutely. I'm just saying, him speaking on these things when he has allegations against himself as well.
But what if his allegations aren't true? And
it may not be. And it absolutely may not be. And it absolutely may not be. But it's just very interesting for him to come out. It's Mayor Adams, who was also, accused of certain things. Of course, the video came out. It is what it is. It's just that it's very interesting to see that it's him dealing with.
Well, he didn't want to do it. When Sybil read the statement, it wasn't his choice. There was a committee that came together, and so he was just the mouthpiece. But he.
No, I know. No, absolutely. No, I absolutely know. It's just again, because he's the mayor. And because he has to deal with what he has to deal with.
And he's the face of New York City.
The face of it. And he's the face of taking it back from Diddy and talking about how, what Diddy did was so terrible. And it was, you know what I'm saying? But that he's also being accused of also things that are not that great as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's just.
Well, man, I'm just a little sensitive to that because I was accused of something that was horrific.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost a job because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a stain against me, and it wasn't true.
Yeah.
So I'm just not quick when people say that you're accused of something that I.
But there was no video of yours.
I absolutely understand. I absolutely understand.
Hold on. There was no video because nothing happened.
But I'm saying,
I'm sensitive.
I know, but Diddy can't say it did.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about Diddy. I was talking about Mayor Adams.
He tried to, and then a week later.
Right.
He said, I can't wait to clear my name. And then a week later comes out and I'm like, well, but I have no problem. We talked about it on the Morning Hustle. And, one of the thoughts out there was like, because it was the Howard taking the doctorate away and giving back the scholarship money.
$1 million. Yeah.
Like why hurt students, that could have gotten the money from that scholarship because of his dumb actions. And it's like,
make him give another $1 million. How about that?
Right, exactly. Instead of taking it away. So that was the kind of the discussion that we had. It was just that it was brought up about the Mayor Adams situation. I'm just like, it's interesting. But no, I completely agree with you. They're accusations with no evidence. Diddy had a whole video. And you are the crime. You are the creep. You're the terrible human being that people have been saying for years.
I don't know if you're a terrible human being, but what you did was awful.
No. He's a terrible human being. No. No. He's a terrible human being. Because the thing is, we all have been in this industry, and we have all heard the stories about Diddy, and probably some stories that have not been made public. You know what I'm saying? Accusations that we all probably thought were true, but it was kind of like now people are able to kind of say,
I have been in this industry for a long time. I have personally worked with Diddy, and probably one of my top 3 best stories of work that I've done has been with Diddy. But I'm able to say professionally, the work that we've done and the work that I've seen him do was incredible. But I can also say what he did to Cassie was horrible. Because what I do is I don't just put everybody in one
box.
you're a horrible person because you did this one thing. It is if I acknowledge the full scope of who you are. Because
absolutely.
I've done some horrible things.
I agree with you.
You've not done horrible things.
No. I say that you know, two things can be true. You could have done great things, and you could be a horrible person. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, you can do some great things, donate some great things, be great things for people, and you can still be a horrible person.
And still turn around and go beat the living daylights out of somebody.
Absolutely. I mean, it's possible. We've seen, especially people who have the funds and the power to do things, they can be great and horrible at the same time. Absolutely. Easily done.
That's true. That's very true. Med, let's move to entertainment.
Before you move to entertainment, Sybil, I just have this one for you, babe.
Lincell on YouTube. Sybil, if you say let go and let God and you're fine after that, then you heard from him. It's not verbal, but he has calmed you. And that's true. He has.
That is great, Sybil. I had to show you that.
Yeah.
I am going to.
I have heard from him.
Next time you say that, Lynn, thank you so much. I'm going to say that. That was beautiful. So I didn't want to let that by, Sybil.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Med, we are talking to entertainment, and Eddie Murphy talked about fathers, and he's a father of 10. I don't know if you want young Blake to come on and talk about, what a great dad you are and what a great Father's Day he had with you. But I will tell you that Eddie Murphy opened up about his family. His kids range in age from 34 down to 5.
Wow. Eddie don't miss. Eddie don't miss.
Wow.
Ever.
He said there's a constant full house, and he said his Father's Day was like any other normal Father's Day. My kids coming around, and he said just and one of the things that I've heard over the years, and from men that I've worked with, is they just want to be left alone on Father's Day.
Right.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
He is cute. He's so cute.
Yeah.
Is that
so we can see him?
Blake.
Can we see Blake?
Pop your head in, Blake.
Hey, Blake.
Say hi.
Hey, cutie pie. Hey, Blake.
How you doing, Blaker?
Good. I think, I think that the older you get, and when like the kids are gone, the more you appreciate being around them. But when you have like their kids and they're young and they need you and they're like on top of you, then the break is like, oh yeah, please go away. give me that time. But it's like, like I said, my dad is older now, so you got to appreciate the time you get to spend together. You know what I'm saying? With your parents. But with him being 9 years old and asking a lot of questions.
Just like his daddy.
He got a lot of questions. And I'm happy because I know he's just like me, because my mother said the same thing about me when I was.
Wow,
I asked a lot of questions to the point where her friends asked her, "Why are you answering every question?" Because she's like, "Well, if you have the question, answer it." And I'm just sitting there. I try.
She did. She answered your questions. She
answered all the questions, and I try to follow in my mother's footsteps with that. And sometimes Daddy just don't know.
Is it Daddy don't know, or Daddy don't want to be bothered?
No, it's Daddy don't know, or didn't I just answer that question, son?
That's a big admission.
The answer's gonna be the same.
That's a big admission. And Daddy don't know is a lot different from my dad's. I don't know.
Don't know. Just don't know.
Oh God! Did you spend time with your dad on Sunday, man?
I didn't get a chance to. I did not see my dad on Sunday. We talked, but I did not actually go over there and see him. I was like, running around with him, and but definitely talked to him, and I talked to my father in New York, took care. Talked to both fathers for Father's Day. So that was it for Father's Day.
Yeah,
I kind of, like I said, me and him. That was it.
That's the partnership that you were. Yeah.
Hey man, let Blake know he's getting some love out the audience. How cute he is.
Oh yeah. No, he's a good-looking kid. I get told that all the time. He must look like his mother. It's amazing. It's like, thank you so much.
So glad you had her help, huh?
Hey, look here. You know, the funniest thing is having somebody says, man, like, oh my God, it's a beautiful family. Your wife is so beautiful. Your son is so cute. And I'm sitting there like, okay. And it's like, have a good day. Right. All right. That happened to me. And I looked at my wife. I'm like, did you see that? She's like, oh, it's okay, baby. I love you. I'm like, I don't really want that right now. I want that lady to say I'm handsome. I want her to tell me I'm handsome. Hey, all y'all get all that love. I want to be handsome.
Hey, Blake, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Blake, what's the best thing about your dad?
Thank you, son. See?
Hey, man, what's the best thing about Blake?
Man, he's, chip off the old block, I guess. You know what I'm saying? No, he actually is a very caring kid. He's a very caring kid.
And you said that, like on the field.
You said outside of him.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's a very caring kid. Like, are you okay? Like, I was coughing, but I think I was choking, and he brought me cough drops. He's like, hey, just making sure you're okay. And I'm just like, I'm like, I don't think that's what this is. I think it went down the wrong pipe, but I appreciate you.
Okay, the next time you need those cough drops, remember.
Hey, when it comes to his mother,
you didn't need them.
Hey, he's gonna take care of us.
That's
all right.
That's
there you go. There you go.
That's beautiful.
We're gonna close out. We're gonna close out with Yogi's jewel. Yolanda, do you have the jewel?
I think I do.
Okay.
Admitting mistakes and taking responsibility for them is a key aspect of being honest. You hear that?
Right.
You hear that?
Come on, Yolanda.
That's a good one. We don't always be honest with ourselves by admitting our mistakes.
Oh no, we'll lie to each other ourselves a lot.
We lie to ourselves a lot, man. But we think we're honest people.
Very much so.
So what's interesting is we probably lie to ourselves, but don't lie to others. But that still makes you dishonest, right?
Ooh.
Deceitful to yourself. Ooh. The worst person you can lie to is yourself.
Ooh.
All right.
Wow.
I like it.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks so much, Med, for taking time. I know that you're doing triple duty there with the kids.
No, she's still in customs, so who knows?
Tell her we said hi and welcome back.
And happy belated birthday.
Wait, she's where?
She's outside. The burger's clean. Bag is clean.
Where was my text? Like, I'm literally looking for a message from her, and I'm sitting here. Oh, by the way, Dad, she's in the back and like, what is this? Okay.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Blake. Thank you so much. Y'all be good now.
Okay,
that's from Caring Blake. That's really nice.
Yes.
That's really nice.
See y'all later. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thanks, Yo. Thanks, Med.
Thank you.